For this video, I thought I'd do something a little different. Instead of waiting until I had everything built and put together and then show you, I thought we would go through the process of what it is that I would like to accomplish and show you some of the things that I've been doing and maybe get some ideas and maybe take you with me on this journey as we build these. Last week I was doing some online searches to get another truck, and I found the second one on eBay. It was almost new, never been used, but the previous owner had went ahead and added a aftermarket bed on the back. It's kind of a little dump bed, and from the top, we got the truck that I've been working on. You can see here, but this one's got kind of a flat bed, and it's kind of cool. They added part of the kit was they took the original roll bars and toolbox and spare tire, and they just kind of mounted it in there. Because I kind of wanted to make a flatbed anyway, this was a good way to pick up another new vehicle, plus have some of the work done already. Kind of as a bonus, this particular kit came with the trailer hitch. The stock factory one doesn't have a hitch, so this will be good for when we're pulling trailers or pulling the dollies. So here it is after I stripped off all of the extra parts on top and get it back down to the flatbed. And so this will probably be a good base to build the next truck out of. Most of the 2.5-ton 6x6s during World War II were provided by GMC. In fact, here's a picture of a typical what it looked like. And this one had the winch in the front, which would have been the sought-after model to get for if you were going to make it into house moving. Here's another one, been all fixed up. It's another GMC. You can see the winch on the front again. Here's another style. This one's also made by GMC, but it's got the canvas top and the fold-down windshield. So for nicer weather, I know that our family had one of these because I remember seeing some of the pictures. And another one, another manufacturer during that same time was Studebaker or Rio. And I think this is a Studebaker right here. And I know when my dad talks about the Army trucks that they had, he also mentions the Studebaker. Just to review a couple of things that we just made changes to. This piece right here now with the controller on it has now been tilted up. You can see right here
where the original screw hole was, and then I drilled a new hole right here, and then it pivoted around this front piece right here. In order to get that to pivot, we had to grind off the plastic little nub right there that was keeping it from pivoting. And another thing we had to do to get it to tip up there was the panhard bar here was rubbing up, the end of it was rubbing up against the frame. So we filed out a little notch in the frame right there and rounded up the end of the coupling just a little bit now. So now it has full movement with it without rubbing. Another change that we made, I'll just cover that right now, is we raised the cab up taller, which is about 5/16 of an inch. And for now, what I did, that I just moved these brackets down on one of the screws. So instead of mounting it under both screws, it moved up, and now it just got the one screw on it. So I may eventually add a little bar across there and tie it to that other screw, but for now it seems like it's kind of strong. Now here's the location I'm thinking about putting the winch. I'll probably have to build some kind of little brackets to hold it, but it looks like it fits in there in that spot really well. And you can see the winch line now kind of neatly passes underneath the controller module without hitting anything. Plenty of clearance, and then it'll just come out the front here, or right where the front bumper is. And I think that's going to be a pretty good place for it. I just notched out the factory bumper. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. I might build something custom. Here's the front view of what I did. I just kind of notched the hole in the bumper right here. You can see the existing fair lead has been cut out, at least the top part of it has been. And so what I'm imagining that in this hole, now we'll put some kind of round roller. It looks like a drum, maybe something that looks like a winch. And then as the winch line is used in and out, it'll look like it's coming from that drum. And that'll especially be true when we go ahead and run the winch line up over the top. It'll go around that drum, and that drum will just act like a pulley for going up. To be a true reproduction of what our family did with these Army trucks is when you get them, they have a winch on the front. And what we did was we built kind of an A-frame that stuck up on the front bumper, and then the winch line would go up from the winch, and it would go through that A-frame with a pulley, and then it would go back over the headache rack in the back. And then the headache rack would have another roller right up here on top. And we would run it through that roller.
Here's a couple pictures that show what I was just talking about. You can see the headache rack here behind the cab. Right above it, there's a pulley or a roller at the top. And they got this also on the front, right on the front bumper above the winch. There's this front A-frame thing that I was talking about. Here's another truck with a similar thing, and but this one shows the A-frame at the top above the bumper, and you can't really see the roller, but there's a roller on top above the cab there. Here's kind of a side view, and it's obvious here in this picture. You can see the roller on top of the headache rack, and in this view here, it's a little more obvious. You can see this A-frame thing that was built on the front bumper with the roller on the top. Then they would just run the winch line right off the drum over through that over the top of the cab, and then over to the back.
And then we put some kind of snatch block there on the side of the bed. Run the cable out through here, and for loading the beams, and you'd have the big main beam here, and then if you can imagine, and then the beam would roll up these planks by winching it. They call this par buckling. You have a couple people there with PVs, and it would roll it up onto the bed like that alongside the truck. And as you can see, the beam in this position is blocking the door. You can't get the door open. You put one on each side, then according to my dad, then you'd crawl in through the window to drive the truck and haul the beam down the road that way. I want to talk a little bit about maybe some of the other modifications that I'm thinking about making to resemble the original trucks. These tires that come with the Atlas 6x6 are quite a bit bigger scale-wise than the original old World War II vehicles. In fact, the World War II 6x6s typically had 750 20s, which means it's about 8 inches wide, maybe about 35 inches tall. Well, this 20 scale that we're dealing with here, these tires are already scale about 15 inches wide, and they're about 44 inches tall. So they're quite a bit bigger than stock. But I'm thinking in order to make it look more realistic, we'll just kind of bolt these together and make kind of a set of duals, which is going to like stick out too far. But I'm thinking if you look in there, you'll see that there's quite a bit of clearance, about 3/4 of an inch, between the inside of the tire and the springs. So if I can figure out a way to cut out the centers or drill these things out and move them in, then maybe it'll look more realistic. In fact, it looks like the taillight might be in the way if I do that. But that's my plan anyway, is to come up with a way to build the duals, and then to also inset that in quite a bit further so it's all the way into the suspension. If you have any ideas that you've done or would like to suggest, please feel free to leave in the comments. I'd really look forward to anything you've done. I know that there are people had made dual wheel adapters that just bolt on here and then the other would bolt on, which is great for having the two wheels together. But I also want to solve the idea of being able to move them in further. If you have any ideas, I would appreciate that. So then when we're done, it'll look more like an authentic truck. The other thing I'm thinking of doing, this bed here is something that somebody has made, a little dump bed thing. It looks like it's been printed on the 3D printer. And in fact, you can find those online. People make these and sell them. It is great for being, if it was a rock crawler, but to be realistic, I need to make this bed a little wider, especially if you're going to have the beam here riding alongside the truck. It needs to be at least wide enough for the beam to sit on partly. And it probably needs to be a little longer to proportionally look correct. Maybe not the full 12 feet, but right now this one's scales at about, I don't remember what it scales at, maybe 5 inches, about 8 feet. So, but maybe if it was more like a 10-foot bed, it would center over the duals or over the tandem wheels, and it would probably look proportionally correct. So probably maybe about 1 inch longer than this, and about maybe 1/2 inch on each side, maybe 3/4 of an inch on each side, that it would be a little bit wider. And if anybody there also has ideas or produces that kind of product, I did reach out to one person that was selling these, but he was so busy, he said he didn't have time to make a custom one a little bigger than this. So, appreciate your ideas if you have any.
As we come to the end of this video today, I just wanted to say thank you for for hanging in there and watching my videos. I really enjoy making this, and I don't know what direction it's going to go, but it could include house moving, RC trucks, 3D printing, AutoCAD, all the different kinds of tools that I've used all my life, it seems like. But I just want to say I appreciate you, and thanks for watching.